The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Now, Tom O'Brien, Darrell Martin, and Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the August 9th, fantastic Friday edition of the Nadex Bull Bear Binary Option Hour with your hosts Darrell Martin and Steve Rhodes. Folks, we are grateful for your presence here today, and our outcome is to teach you how to set it and forget it. You know, the most important aspect of trading, it's called capital preservation. And that's the real beauty behind the Nadex platform, because your trade is your stop. Your risk is your risk. Your stops are automatically placed, and the market can never gap your stops to the upside or to the downside. That is a beautiful thing. Nadex, it is a better way to trade. And our man, Darrell Martin, he's the Nadex expert. Our call number is 877-927-6648. We would love to field your calls. Let's start off the day with a beautiful thought. It goes like this. You know how it goes. It says, live life fully while you're here. Now, that makes sense. Experience everything. That means don't just do the same things. That means break out of your shell just a little bit. Do something different this weekend. Try a new flavor of ice cream, for goodness sakes. Take care of yourself and your friends. Have fun. Be crazy. In fact, be a little weird. Go out and screw up. Why? Because you're going to anyway, so you might as well enjoy that process. Take the opportunity, though, to learn from your mistakes. Find the cause of your problems and just simply eliminate them. Don't try to be perfect, because perfection doesn't exist. It's the lowest standard. What you want to do is be an extraordinary example of being a tiger or a tigress. Now, if one of your mistakes in trading is using stops, then learning the Nadex platform is exactly for you, because you set it and you forget it. And there is no better person than Darrell Martin that can teach you how. He does that each day from 1 to 2 o'clock. Darrell Martin, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I am doing great. He is our binary expert out here. In fact, you are the Leonardo Fibonacci of TFNN.
I'm doing it every day, baby.
You are Mr. Mathematics, which is great. You know, and one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about before we came on the air, folks, I sent Darrell Darrell an IM. So as we were coming into the 10 o'clock session, and I asked him to try to identify 2 trades for us. I was hoping that the market would actually go ahead and hold off for us. My exact, I'll read the IM I sent to him. I said, see if you can find a trade shorting the ES at 1695. We know that the ES was up at 1695 with a target of 1686, or was also looking at the other side of the trade, or going long at 1696 with a target of 1704. Now, that trade here may have passed us by. We can still go ahead and put it in. He's identified it, so we can go ahead and be able to put that into the system. I'll explain why it is that I chose those numbers, because for me it was easy to identify where the Bulls and the Bears are fighting. And I want to be able to take a look at taking potentially both sides of that trade, let the market go ahead and decide what it wants to do. So that was what I had sent out to Darrell to ask him, you know, how to do that. Would you be kind enough to just show our audience how it is that you would, if you knew that those were your parameters, because the first element of trading is trying to identify what are the parameters that you're looking for. Then I believe you're able to utilize the tools that Darrell has built to sift through to see if there are any trades that make sense. So would you show our listeners how you would go about doing that with your set of tools?
Yeah, basically what are you doing here? Let me get rid of some of these messages. But you're going to go in and you can do binaries or spreads, okay? So if you actually have a target price in mind, such as like you had the target price of 1685, 1686 in mind, right?
Yeah, I did.
Then what I would do is I would first go in and I'd try to find some binaries that actually are at that strike, okay?
Yes.
So with a strike of 1686, because that's basically what you're shooting for.
That's correct.
And there are 3 things you can know about binaries, okay? One of those is it'll be worth, actually 2 of those, it will be worth either $0 or $100 at expiration. Okay?
Yes.
So, but we're not going for expiration. We're trading, right? We're getting in, we're getting out.
That's correct.
That's how a lot of people, unfortunately, trade them to their own detriment often. The other thing you can know, and this is your big edge, this is actually where, once you figure this out, where you start making some money, okay, is when the underlying market is at the same strike as the binary, okay? Meaning, let's say you go in and you're like, I'm going to sell the U.S. 500, which would go with the S&P 500.
Yes.
U.S. 500 September future contract, 1686, expiring at 415. Okay?
Yes.
If the S&P gets down to 1686, that binary will be worth $50. It doesn't matter if there are 23 hours till expiration, 5 days till expiration, 5 minutes to expiration. It'll always be worth $50.
Yes.
And the reason is when the market is at the same price as the underlying strike, then there's a 50-50 chance it'll still be at that price in 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days.
Yep.
Okay? And so by understanding that concept, you could actually go in and go, okay, I want to target 1686. Well, what would that cost me? Well, if I open that up right now, it costs me $83. Or actually, could make up to $83, and which means my cost is $100 minus 83. Because like you said earlier, all the risk is capped. You don't have to take a stop, depending on what kind of trading strategy you do.
Yes.
There are strategies I use stops on, but like on this one right here, I could go in. If I sold it right now, it's quoting at $81.50. So $100
but
minus that.
Our risk, we would have had even less risk had we been able to sell it at $16.95, though. Correct?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. Yeah, it was even smaller.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you're talking $18. I mean, that's not bad anyway.
No, I understand. But I just wanted to be able to point out to folks that you have your parameters set ahead of time, and even in this case here,
right,
the risk reward was even better.
Exactly. Before the show, we even had even a better risk reward. Exactly.
Yes.
And so anyway, so you go in, and this one gives me until 4:15 to be right. There's a lot of time on this to still be right about this trade. So it's not like it has to happen in the next 10 minutes. I have until 4:15. So that's a pretty beautiful thing.
It's still a good trade. It's, in my opinion, it's still a good trade.
Right. So let's say we did 5 of them. Okay. Well, 5 of them would be $87. That's not even a 2-point risk on the S&P.
Right.
I mean, that's awesome. You go in there, and right now it'd be $100. So it'd almost be like basically exactly 2 points of risk. And again, we buy it back at 50. So if you sold it at 80, you bought it back at 50. That's a $30 profit. So you make $150 with no stop loss, and you have all the way till 4:15 to be right about the trade. And so you just go in there, you just click it, and it does it. And here's what the scanner does for you: is it does all this math. So it goes in and actually tells you, we have all these different expirations. And so say you don't want a short term. Now, if you want a short term, we have even less risk. Like right now, the ones that expired at 11, I can sell those for $96, which means $4 risk. Okay?
Got it.
For 12 o'clock, I could sell them for, basically $20. That's why I was down. At the first one because we were talking back and forth on the chat there.
Yes.
The first one I found was actually this one, which had about a $20 risk. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, for 1 point lower, which is our actual target anyway, 1686.
Yes.
I can get it for basically the exact same risk. And I can have until 4 o'clock. I get 4 more hours. So, in my opinion, that was really the better trade. I was going for that 1686.
So let's also
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so what I want you to do here also, because, and then I'll come back to folks and I'll explain to them, why I've selected the numbers that I have. There's also the other side of the trade, and to me, I'm agnostic whether it comes to being a bull or bear. To me, it's just about reading the message of the markets and going with the flow. Right. I could, this is a game where the markets are going to go up and go down, and it's a matter of understanding and, how to identify those areas. I also believe that if we see it close above 1696, we're likely to see a move up to about 1704. So while that is a set of targets right now and the markets aren't there, can you go through the long side of the trade? So show folks, here's an anticipated trade that we could even put on and see what the reward to risk looks like there.
Yeah, we got the 1704 right now. You can buy it for $3.
Okay.
$3.
Now, I wouldn't enter the trade right now. I'd only want to enter the trade if we got up to, I'll give you the actual price here. It would be, Well, I would say 1697 and a quarter, probably something like that.
So let me actually challenge you on something a little bit different, but with Nadex. Okay.
Yeah.
You're pretty confident that today it's either going to hit 1686 or 1704.
Oh heck no! I've got no confidence whatsoever. Are you kidding me?
But I mean, you're saying it's going to hit one or the other, right?
Yeah. Those are the two. Those are the two on the ES mini on a 30-minute chart. Those are the two best trades. Well, for the moment that I see. Yes, I believe that if the ES mini breaks above 1697, it should travel up to about the 1704 range. I'm using that would be my top expectation level.
Okay, well, here's the reason I bring that up, is because right now it's $3 risk. Once it gets up there and breaks that, it'll probably be about $15, $20 risk.
Got it. Okay. So
you could actually go, because you have till 4:15. You have all day long.
Yeah.
All right? You can actually go in and do a little bit of a strangle here, because we got our short on, right?
Yeah.
And you can go, I'll go ahead and risk $3 times, 5 contracts or 10 contracts. That's $15, $20.
So in this case here, I would be potentially taking half of my profit.
Not even half of it. No, we're talking $3. Your profit right now on the short side is $30. We're talking
right, but if it doesn't, if the short side doesn't unfold and the long side does, what would have been the risk there?
Okay, if the short side doesn't and the long side does, the risk would be $23.
$23.
So you
on top of
net $27 on the trade.
Okay. Yeah, so then that's a good trade setup. And folks, what I'm doing out here, just so you can get a feel for it. Now, and I'm using a 30-minute chart. What we know without, clear as can be, in my opinion, clear as can be, 1695 to 1697 is the actual zone of resistance here. I mean, the bears have defended that position for whatever reason. We don't really need to know why. We just know where they need to be hanging out. And they are defending that position like a hawk out here. Likewise, each of the moves down, the last couple moves down, the first one that we'll take a look at came in at 11:30 in the morning on yesterday. And if we take a look at the retracement, if we use Leonardo, Fibonacci, Darrell Martin's numbers out here, what you'll see is that it was a .786 retracement. Moves down, gets down to the .786 retracement level. This is yesterday, coming in at 11:30, down at 1686. Reverses course, and where does it head to? Heads all the way back to 1695. It gets up to the 1695 level, 1697 to be exact. And what does it do from there? It reverses course. It really travels sideways, but reverses course overnight and comes back into where? It comes down to a low of 1686. Hence, that's where the 1686 number comes from, 1686.50. Also happens to be the swing point back here from 11:30 yesterday morning. So that's where that 1686 range came from, and the 1695, because that's where our back was up against the wall. Now, knowing that the bears are really defending this area, more likely the short side of the trade is the one that was going to pan out. But you always like to have the other side of the trade in the bullpen. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
With over 3 decades of commodity trading experience, Andy Hecht has developed a system that combines both technicals and fundamentals. He calls this approach Technomental, and now you can put it to work for yourself with his brand new service, the Technomental Commodity Report. In this weekly newsletter, which comes out each Thursday morning, Andy gives you his analysis of the market price direction bias using fundamentals, and then specific trade recommendations including entry and exit points using technicals. The recommendations in the newsletter are always based on stocks and ETFs, so a futures account is not required, and Andy will often use options in the recommendations as well. Andy will tell you where to get in, where to get out, and he'll outline the risk-reward profile for all recommendations. To get your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht while locking in the low introductory rate, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks, to the Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, sponsored by Nadex with Darrell Martin and Steve Rhodes. Right now, the Dow is off 49 points, traded 15,448. S&P's down 4 at 1693. Russell 2000 just slightly red, down 80 cents. Composite off $2 and change. And Darrell and I, before the break, we're taking a look at how to set up. We're taking a look at one trade, both sides of that trade being the S&P futures contract. And we had clearly the Bears have identified their area of resistance. That's in the 1695, 1696 level. Just like support should be right around the 1686 range. Right now it's traveling at 1690. Now, I had given Darrell ahead of time, was looking at the stock chart and said, okay, here's what parameters I would be trading with. He was able to utilize his analyzer tool. And folks, if you have not had a chance to check that out, go to the homepage of TFNN.com. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see the Nadex banner. Go ahead and click on that. You can set up an account. It takes you a minute or so to do that. And, you know, in the spirit of Uncle Ben Bernanke, Nadex has decided to go ahead and print money as well. So they're going to print $25,000 and put that in your account so that you can start trading with. Of course, it's their money, not yours. You can put your money in and start trading as well. I think all you've got to do is start off with $100, so that's a pretty good deal out there. But go over there, and then what you want to do is you want to sign up for Darrell's analyzer. What is do they have 30-day trial on that, Darrell? What's the time frame?
Yeah, they get to try it out for 30 days, check it out, see how it works, or 2 weeks. I'm not even sure what they have on there now.
Yeah, okay. So
but you actually get access to the binary scanner and the spread scanner, both.
Okay,
so
exactly.
not just the spread scanner. So we actually added in the binary scanner as well with it. I keep adding more and more tools and features. And now we also have the trade tracker built in where it actually pulls your opening live working orders, open positions of live working orders directly into the scanner. And you can edit your orders directly from the scanner. So you don't have to hop back and forth between the scanner and Nadex. It's all right there in the scanner for you.
Yeah, and you've got hours of education. Your show, the Darrell hosts a show every day from 1 to 2. That's on channel 6?
7.
What channel is that? 7. Lucky 7. I like that. Okay, it's on channel 7, and so you got access to Darrell, and so now there's also, I mentioned that Darrell's kind of like our TFNN, version of Leonardo Fibonacci, or at least one of the versions out there, and that's because Darrell likes to be able to utilize a tool, that standard deviation tool out there. So having been able to set up that trade, how would the standard deviations have helped us to confirm whether or not we were even in track and the right targets if the numbers that we're using? How would that tool have then helped us, supplemented the trading parameters that we were looking at?
Okay, it's very similar to standard deviation. It's actually implied deviation, which is the big difference.
Okay.
Because we're using implied volatility to forecast the number versus standard deviation, which is historical movement, to try to figure out where it'll go. And what it does is we post them every night at 8:15. We put the levels on there. And so, you called out this morning, you're like, hey, it looks like this thing's about to break below. If it breaks below this, I want to target, right around 1686, right?
Yes.
And so I pull it up, and I look at, of course, now I put up on the tools, but I look at and I actually see what the deviation levels are. And the very first deviation level is actually 1686.75. That's also the level we are already bounced off of this morning.
Yes.
Right here at about 6 o'clock, which I'm sure you saw that when you were doing your analysis.
Correct.
And so it came right down to it, bounced right off of that level. So not only do I see the support level, being confirmed from it doing that gap fill right there, but also, it becomes the first target level. So what that does, it lets me know where would I want to look at either doing one of two things. Either one, taking my profit. Okay, so I may choose like a binary right there, at 1686 binary, because I can know what the binary will be worth if it hits that price again.
Yes.
Or it lets me know where I want to tighten my stops. So, because, in trading, it's so easy to sort of get lost on your chart. I'm sure you've experienced this, right? You go in and, as you're zooming and moving in and moving around, bars look bigger or smaller than they really are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's sort of, you zoom in, you're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that was that big of a move, or I thought that was a lot bigger move, but it was only 2 points, just because you're zoomed in and zoomed out. And so one nice thing is I'll go and I'll put all these deviation levels on my chart. It makes it very easy to sort of get just a compass, a feel, where you really understand where you're at in the day, like how big of a move is really taking place. And it lets me know exactly where to target, where to either take profit or tighten my trailing stop. So usually on binaries, I'm going to have to take my profit, because it's just not worth the risk of it turning around and, losing all its value.
Sure.
But if I'm over and I'm trading a spread, then that's what I'm going to do is, like, when it goes down, let's say it hits that 1686. Well, who knows? Maybe the bears are going to come in full force on Friday, and the thing's going to move on down to 1680.
Right.
Which would be one full deviation for the day, okay? And so I can tighten my stop each time it goes below each one of those deviation levels.
Yep. Stay tuned, folks. Darrell and I will be right back. The Dow's off 49. Be right back, folks.
With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter, Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position, for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks, to the Nadex Bull Bear Binary Option Hour with our man Darrell Martin. I'm Steve Rhodes. Right now, the Dow is off 48 points. S&P is off 3. Composite slightly green. Russell 2000 slightly green as well. And before I went to break, Darrell was showing us the tool of using the implied deviations that you're able to apply to really. All these calculations are for all of the instruments that are available on Nadex. Is that correct, Darrell?
Yeah, almost all of them. Yeah, so we're about to add in the cross currencies like pound yen and euro yen. We do have all the dollar currencies: Aussie dollar, pound dollar, euro dollar, dollar franc, dollar CAD, dollar yen, and we don't have the international indices yet. So because we have to get implied, the thing is we actually have to have implied volatility to pull them.
Yes.
So I have to be able to pull, active, accurate, liquid option data.
Yes,
in order to be able to extract the implied volatility to be able to calculate what the deviation level is. Because we're not using any, like yesterday, open, high, low, close prices, nothing like that. The only historical price we use would be the settlement price each day.
That's cool. Now, folks, look, if you haven't had a chance to check out, the Nadex platform, really do yourself a favor, because of all these tools that you've got access to, apply them to your trading, see how they'll benefit you. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com. Again, sign up for the Nadex platform by clicking on the Nadex banner out there. You got access to Darrell who will teach you how to utilize these tools, how to put this to work for you, so that you can make money. Now, some other trades that I'm looking at that might be of interest to those folks that utilize the Nadex platform, or not even the Nadex platform, but certainly the Nadex platform out here. I'm looking at really two different trade setups that I see. One is in natural gas. So the natural gas contract out here. So yesterday we had a nice key reversal session, nice little bullish engulfing, bull sash candle out there. After making a nice 1 to 2, A to B equals CD. This is a trade that they can get into when early Monday morning, Darrell, on your system, and they can trade it on a weekly basis?
The binaries, they can trade weekly. The spreads are 23 hours.
23 hours. Okay. So I'm seeing a nice trade here in natural gas. Right now it's trading at 332, a bounce to 360. Is likely. Now, whether that takes place over a period of a week or not, that much I don't know. But that's the level that you're taking a look at. Also on the currency market side. One of the better trades that has already set up and it's moved, it really moved yesterday, I talked about this on the show, is the Aussie dollar, U.S. dollar. That put in a nice little Gartley buy pattern, and it's about to hit its first target here. And the first target range is about the 93-cent area, but it's moving up here. We can see nice bullish looking candles out here. I would expect to see it get up into about the 93 area and then go ahead and pull back, so that it could form a little bit of a B to a C of an A to B equals CD. But from a currency standpoint, a currency cross pair, Aussie dollar, U.S. dollar, looks like something that folks, if they're just going to sign up and they're going to test drive it, that would be another place that I would look at for a little bit longer-term chart, longer-term time frame trade than what it is that we're looking for here. So if you want to do, and the first bounce that I'd be looking at inside this currency pair takes you up to about 95 cents. And if we wanted to trade the Aussie dollar, U.S. dollar right now and try to sift through some potential trades, I mean, we really can't do that now for trades that would be setting up on Sunday, can we?
No, not yet.
Yeah. So those are some trades, but that you would want to take a look at in my opinion. Now the other thing that Nadex is really cool for is trading the news. Why don't you explain to folks how you utilize the system to explain the news events? And are there any news events on the horizon coming up next week? There's always news events. What are you showing as probably the most significant? Yeah. So what are you showing as perhaps the most significant ones that might have an impact on the markets next week?
Let's see here. Well, we actually just had the dollar CAD this morning. That was a pretty good news event, too. But
so the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar, what was the was that an interest rate decision? What was the news out there on that?
This morning, let me see. Actually, I had it all up. I was so focused on that one. Let me see.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. Yeah, no problem.
It had like an 85th average move. So what I do is I go in and I had the employment change. That's what it was. Yeah, employment change and unemployment rate this morning.
Okay.
And it was basically we had a worse than expected employment change. It went down, and the unemployment rate went up. So it's two negative things at the same time. Okay?
Got it.
So they were expecting 7.1% on their unemployment rate. They got 7.2. They're expecting 6.2 thousand increase on their employment change. It actually went down by 39.4 thousand. And my stat showed that basically about 80% of the time it moves 80 pips. Or 80% of the time it breaks 50 pips, and the average move was 80 pips.
Yes.
And I look at basically a 2-hour stat. And we got, on this one we didn't get the full move. We got 64 pips, so we still beat that 80% of the time it breaks 50 pips. And so what I'll do is I'll go in right before a report is about to come out, and I'll usually do a straddle if I can. A straddle is always my preference over a strangle. That's using the spreads versus the binaries. And so that way, I have my target, and I go in and I go, okay, well, what's the average move? What's the maximum risk I can take? So I can go in on this trade this morning and put up, say, like $40 risk, okay? And if it shoots, say, up 60 pips, then I'll make a $40 profit after I lose $20 on the other side. Mm-hmm. And so I call these out every day on our show. I go in and I'm like, hey, these are the reports to focus on. Here are the average ranges to look for. Here's different ways to trade them. And we go through them step by step. But the thing is, it allows you to trade news, which is time-specific, when it's going to happen, right? You know what it's going to have an impact on, such as obviously 2 Canadian reports are going to have an impact on the USD CAD. And if you get the stats, you even know how far it moves on average. Okay.
And
so
the
I
80,
actually have all those stats out on the show.
yeah, and the 80 pip move. You knew that from historical data. Was that something that was available somewhere?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, it's not available on the show, so I call it out.
Got it. Okay.
So I go when I actually pull up the historical data and look at it, and basically what I found out was 80% of the time it moves at least 50 pips, and the average move is 80 pips. Got it. Basically, I know I'm expecting at least a 50-pip move and potentially an 80-pip move when this comes out. We got 65 pips. We got sort of like right in between there. And the reason that's important is because if I'm doing my straddle, if I go over here to the scanner, okay?
Yep.
And I'm going to trade the news, and I love it because you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours. I mean, this is a very short time period trade, maybe 30 minutes, okay? And I'll hop on here and I'll go, okay, well, I want to trade $CAD on the spread scanner. And it has, all these different spreads that are available. And then I'll go, you know what, I probably want ones that expire. I'll usually get a shorter term expiration. So I'll say ones that expire in the next, 2 hours, okay? Because they'll be cheaper. So I'll put like 120 minutes on there.
Right.
And then I'll say I want at least a 1-to-1 reward-to-risk ratio because I'm going to be going both directions.
Right.
And I'll say I don't want to risk more than $100. And when I do that, you can instantly see, like, there's this is the P&L graph. Okay, so this is the profit and loss. This is the price. If it goes up or down, what the P&L will be. Okay? Mm-hmm. So you can start to see there's ones for going up and down there. And so I can pick ones that have a floor and a ceiling matching. Okay, so I can pick like this and this. But the live price is right here, so that may not be my my biggest preference. But I can go through and I can find which ones are going to be closest to where the market is.
Yep.
Like that's pretty close. And then, I match up another one with it. And usually we'll find ones that line right up, whether we're not really right on the hour of a news release. Like at 8 a.m., these would have ones that line perfectly up at 10 o'clock.
Got it.
And so by doing that, you're able to quickly and easily find trades that would match up. And basically you put on a very low-risk trade. And like this trade right here, if you put this trade on, this one would be like $45, but they don't really line up perfectly because one's so deep in the money. Let's see here. We'll find one that's a lower risk to show you a good example. And, yeah. So there's a couple of them right there, but we could do that trade. But so that's like $35. But often I can get these on for, a total of maybe $20 to $30, maybe $40 at the most.
Okay.
And so if I know what my risk is, I need to make basically my risk plus the risk on the other side. So let's say I'm risking $40 and I have $20 risk on each side.
Yep.
My total risk is $40, so I need to make $40 plus I need to expect one side to lose.
Yes.
And so I need to make another 20. So I basically say I need to make $60 on this trade. So if it'll move up 60 pips, then I'll be profitable. And so by knowing those stats and then having the spreads, it doesn't matter if it goes up or down. I know when it's going to happen and what it's going to happen on. And I put it in there, and I put my take. As soon as I get filled, I put my take profits in, and you're basically done with the trade. You can watch it, you can manage it a little bit, and put some of the pieces a little bit more in your favor, I guess you could say. But
and so at this stage here, you knew that the average was that 50 to 80 pip move out there. You also knew how often the report was released where that didn't occur.
Right, exactly. So 20% of the time, it didn't move at least 50 pips.
Yeah. So, so you're basically putting an 80% odd on a trade in your favor.
Exactly. So I have the probability in my favor, and then now I have a instrument, because before Nadex, what were you going to do? You're going to sort of like try to catch the move after it came out.
Sure.
That's really the only way to trade news, right? If you're just trading directionally.
Yeah.
Well, how did you catch that? The thing flew.
Very, very difficult. The only way to really catch a trade is know what the news is.
Right, yeah. So, because if you try to hop in there, most brokers won't even fill you. It's going to be hard to get a fill, and the thing's just flying lightning fast.
Right.
Right when that report first comes out. A lot of times, almost all the move will happen. Literally, we got a 60-pip move in about a minute.
Yes, no question about it. Yeah, I actually got a little gap, it looked like, on there.
Yeah, so, exactly. It gapped, it flew up, and then it actually hit the half deviation mark. This is another way that helps you on the trade. when I see that a deviation level is right near my in between my take profit zone, my 50 and 80.
Yes.
Okay. That actually will become my take profit price. So even though we could have went a little bit higher, I remember I had 50 and 80 was actually my range. So what that would have done is that would have made my profit zone between basically 40 and, right up here around 60 or 70. So to be conservative, I probably would have targeted the 30 to 348 on this trade. And because I expect that to become a resistance point where it's going to fall. And you can tell we went from half a deviation, actually negative 0.7, went right up to that deviation line, stopped, and actually came right back down, a full deviation back.
Look to me that makes all the sense in the world, and this is a game about making money. It's not about being able to sell the top tick and buy the bottom tick.
Right.
Instead it's about, how do you master probability so that you can make money on the trade and capital preservation. Folks, how is it that you can take a trade? You certainly you know exactly what your risk is. You're not going to, no matter what the news is, you're not going to be at risk for more than what you've put together for the entire trade out there, and you've got all the percentage probabilities on your side. To me, when people run businesses all day long, they are mastering probability decisions. That's all it is. And this here is an exercise where you've got actually more data ahead of time because you can use that past information and you can use these tools to just simply assist you in having your money make money for you. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's basically, where am I going to take my profit? And what tells me to do that objectively? And that's the big thing I like. Because like I said, it's not about that top and bottom tick. It may fly up another 50 pips. I don't know, but I don't know.
Right. No, exactly.
If I have that high probability take zone area, then I'm actually making money in my favor with the probabilities.
No, exactly. And that's what you want to do. You want to just deal within the probabilities and go on and look for the next trader or wait for the next news item. So as far as next week, what are the news items that folks should be paying attention to next week?
Let's see here. Well, for next week, we got a lot coming up. I got to pull up I actually calculate all these out for the entire week. And that's part of my trading plan every week.
Yes.
Monday is going to be completely quiet. There's some medium impact reports, but nothing that's really tradable. And then Tuesday we got the German zoo economic reports. We got core retail and retail sales coming out of the U.S. We also have CPI on the pound along with 5 other reports. So Tuesday will be a decent FX day, at least early in the morning.
Yes.
Going over to Wednesday, we're going to have the bank rate, the facility votes, the claim account change on the pound. So Wednesday is going to be huge for doing, if you're an early morning trader. It depends on your time zone, I guess. But it's going to be a great pound to straddle trade right there. And then we'll have PPI here in the U.S. on Wednesday. And then, let's see here. I haven't actually pulled all the stats on them yet. And then we'll go over to retail sales on Thursday in Britain. We'll have core CPI in the U.S. We'll have
now in the case,
in
the case of the pound, though, you've got all the calculations ahead of time. Are you able to just go in there and you've got to get up to 2 in the morning to sift through everything? I guess you have to do that, really.
You have 2 choices. I can either go on now. There are 7 a.m. expirations.
Yeah.
Okay? So I can hop in earlier, at 11 o'clock, because that's when they open up.
Yeah.
And I can put them on. The problem is I'm going to pay a lot more premium. And
I see that.
Usually, if you really want to do
folks,
trade, you're going to be getting up in the morning to do them.
Stay tuned through this break. Darrell and I will be right back. That was off 47. Be right back, folks.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks, to the Nadex Bull Bear Binary Option Hour with your host, Darrell Martin and Steve Rhodes. Right now, the Dow is off 65 points. The Dow is the leader. The leader is it's sludge. It's leading the market down. It's off 0.4% out here. Likewise, on the other side of that, the flip side, if we take, and that's 30 stocks, if we take a look at the wider swath of the market, that'd be the New York Stock Exchange. Well, the New York Stock Exchange is down 10 points, 0.1% out there. And net declining issues here today, only 165. So not exactly a wide swath of a marketplace that is saying that lower prices are coming at us just yet. S&P is off 4 points. The NASDAQ composite just slightly negative, down 2 points out there. So we got another market here that has been bouncing around, but leading us down is the Dow. If we take a look inside the Dow here right now, the only two stocks are in the green. Looks like IBM which we know that has actually been leading. That's leader in the Dow weighting-wise, and also has been leading the market down. But it was attacking a swing point yesterday with some lighter volume. We'll go take a look at it. And Alcoa, those are the two stocks inside the Dow that are in the green. There's a couple that are unchanged. Dollar-wise, big dollar-wise to the downside here is Home Depot. Home Depot's off $1. Johnson & Johnson down 91 cents. Chevron Corp off 78. In fact, if we go take a look at, let's take a look here at Apple. Apple, had completed a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD up, actually a tad higher than that. Ran into the 200-period exponential moving average. That's the green squiggly line going across my screen. Closed just slightly above it on August the 5th. And then back below it here. So that thing is now on the pullback here. It has really not been too bad. The big volume, the area that is going to be a key area of support is going to be July 24th. There were 21 million shares to the upside. That's when it broke the B point and gapped up with some good volume. As I say, 21 million shares. The low of that, 435.26, is going to be the area of support, and we'll see whether or not Apple will go ahead and break down. If we take a look here at IBM, IBM here right now is trading at 188.27. I did say it was up, but it's not exactly up much. And what it's doing is it came back. It's made a 100% move of a move, which is taking it back to the April 22nd swing point low. That had 9.8 million shares there. 187.68 is the number. It tagged that area yesterday, closed back above it. You're going to want to watch 187.68. What it did yesterday was only 4.5 million shares going against 9.4, so about 50% of the volume out here. If, in fact, IBM closes below that level, that's what brings into play this longer-term consolidation range low, which was the January 19th breakout. Actually broke out on the 20th, but we're using the we're using the high of January 19th, which is 182.36, to see if, in fact, that stops the fall of IBM. If it does, it sets up a pretty nice trading range. If it doesn't, remember, because this is a longer-term consolidation range, you're going from 182 to about we'll call it 212, just for the heck of it, because it makes it easier for me to do the math. That's $30. That means if IBM closes below 181, what that's going to be, it says it's a 30%, $30 decline from there. So we'll call it 180. That says IBM would be headed to the 150 mark out there. So that's why it's very important to be watching IBM. Folks, remember, go over to the homepage at TFNN.com, sign up for Darrell's, the Nadex platform. Go ahead and make sure you sign up for Darrell's services, because there are tools out there, the Nadex scanners, that you want to make sure that you have access to. Stay tuned. The rest of the programming lineup for today, we've got Basil Chapman. He is up next. After Basil, it's Nico and Paige, then Darrell from 1 to 2, David White 2 to 3. And Darrell Martin, great to be with you today. Have a great afternoon and a great weekend.
You bet. So we stay across on our
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.